نعمة الله عليكم إذ كنتم أعداء فألف بين قلوبكم فأصبحتم بنعمته إخوانا وكنتم على شفا حفرة من النار فأنقذكم منها كذلك يبين الله لكم آياته لعلكم تهتدون ولتكن منكم أمة يدعون إلى الخير ويأمرون بالمعروف وينهون عن المنكر وأولئك هم المفلحون ولا تكونوا كالذين تفرقوا واختلفوا من بعد ما جاءهم البينات وأولئك لهم عذاب عظيم يوم تبيض وجوه وتسود وجوه فأما الذين اسودت وجوههم أكفرتم بعد إيمانكم فذوقوا العذاب بما كنتم تكفرون وأما الذين بيضت وجوههم ففي رحمة الله هم فيها خالدون تلك آيات الله نتلوها عليك بالحق وما الله يريد ظلما للعالمين ولله ما في السماوات وما في الأرض وإلى الله ترجع الأمور صدق الله العظيم.
Bisik, naga, dir.
إسكودي دعاء قولي خاصة دعاء كورون إسوي دعاء كدباني الحافظ أحمد زكي مي دعاء هو بيفهم بس باردا تونجلي الحافظ أحمد زكي.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. نحمدك يا ربنا كما ينبغي لجلال وجهك وعظيم سلطانك، ونشكرك اللهم على جميع نعمائك وآلائك. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك وتبارك اسمك وتعالى جدك ولا إله غيرك. ونصلي ونسلم على نبيك ورسولك وخيرتك على جميع خلقك. اللهم صل على محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد، وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم احفظ ديننا وعقيدتنا. ربنا اغفر لنا ذنوبنا وإسرافنا في أمرنا وثبت أقدامنا وانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. اللهم احفظ ديننا وبلادنا وأهلينا من كل سوء، وباعد بيننا وبين شر الأعداء ومكر الماكرين وحقد الحاقدين وخيانة الخائنين. اللهم اجعل ديارنا آمنة مطمئنة واحفظ أمنها واستقرارها وسلامتها واستقلالها. اللهم إنا نسألك عفوك ورضاك يا أكرم الأكرمين ويا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم هدوا بدكر برسكلاكو ألمني برسكلاجي حمدك التعريف ثنا دنوم ألمن التدم قدك ومتكاي برسكلاجي فنوفي ما نبي ياشا إما النبي آلنا أصحابنا الصلوات سلام لبون دعاء كرم ألمني برسكلاكو إبرسكلاجي ألمن الدبي أمها نعمتك حمدا شكر دنوم إبرسكلاجي فضل وانت وريكم على منجمي ميني وان كند مهتباده. إبرسكلاجي فضل وانت وريكم على منجم ميني وان كند مهتباده. دينا قومك دشمنك نركنون على من سلامك كرباده. على منجي برسكلاكو تدموغا على منجي فاتلة الثابت كربا على من النصر دباده. على منجي برسكلاكو تدمغا على من فاتلة الثابت كربا على من النصر دباندب. على من بالرسكلاكو تدمغا على من فاتلة الثابت كربا على من النصر دباندب. هدوا بدكر برسكلاكو على من دينا عقيدة ركاتري كدباندب. على من بيري رسكلاكو على منك فافتك على منك كنت بغا هدفان على ديومك كون على من نفس سواديب. هذه تدموغا على منك فاتلة الثابت كرباديب. هذه على منك مچا نوني اللاغن ولا قوم توك مچا على من النصر دبانديب. على منك ورس كلاكو على منك راجيك كنكول توغا أمن أمان كما صلح مسلس كان قائم كرباديب. على من راجع أمها ريتم أمها نركن سلامك كرباندي. هدوا جنغلوا على من برسكلاكو على من راجع أمها ريتم أمها نركا تكون سلامك كرباندي. نقولدون تريكن دور كربا على منكي كره هيواغي كتري هيتري عدل اللو بكرا بكم غالباندي. اللهم أصلح لنا ديننا الذي هو عصمة أمرنا، وأصلح لنا دنيانا التي فيها معاشنا، وأصلح لنا آخرتنا التي إليها معادنا، واجعل الحياة زيادة لنا في كل خير، واجعل الموت راحة لنا من كل شر. اللهم احفظ الإسلام والمسلمين. اللهم احفظ الإسلام والمسلمين. اللهم احفظ الإسلام والمسلمين. اللهم احفظ بلادنا وبلاد المسلمين. اللهم اجعل اجتماعنا هذا اجتماعا مرحوما، وتفرقنا من بعده تفرقا معصوما. ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا أو أخطأنا. ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إصرا كما حملته على الذين من قبلنا. ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به. واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا أنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. آمين.
दिवी राज्य के इज्जत रईस जमहूरिया मोहम्मद नशीदाई एमन खानगामी कमलन अल्फादा लाइला अली अदि रईस जमहूरिया के नाम डॉक्टर मोहम्मद वहीद हसन मनगिदे कमलना अड्डू सिटी के नमगा मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ होम अफेयर्स के नमगा मी उफावेरी जमहूरी दोह के हेद माताहनिया वरंग इखलास तरीका माय को अरिस कुरंग हम मियाय को मी दोह के हेद माताहनिया एम हादी बे लब्बत रायतुना अरिस कुरंग हुरिया बेफुना बस बा जवरी उफावेरी दोह कंगदे वस्सलाम अलैकुम.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम. Saarc Saarc Summit के निमुमगर रस्मियात को ऑफिशियल ब्रॉडकास्ट इन कुबद्दो खुली अडगुंडु ज़िहनत हसन
अदि अडगुंड अमनत होशामा.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम.
आदे बिहार Saarc Summit के निमुमगर रस्मियात का बारवडांडवा साक के मेंबर गमत के इज्जत तेरवेरी बिहार गेंदवनी इक्वेटोरियल कन्वेंशन सेंटर वडाइनोमो
आदे दादी कुड़ा वगुत कोलेगे तेरेगा सतारवण Saarc Summit के एमएफ फाहु सेशन तिबेफुना हमिया अडगुंड में गेनस्ते मुंदाना निमुगे रस्मियात का बारवडांडवा बेंग इसफेरे बिहार मनी इक्वेटोरियल सेंटर वडाइनफा देग अलमन मालूमात फागत का देंग इक्वेटोरियल सेंटर वडाइनवानी नेपाल के बड़ वजीर बाबूराम भट्टराय आदे सतारवण Saarc Summit इये फेशफा वैर इये गी सेशन गा Saarc के मेंबर गौमतोगे इसवेरिम वणी वाहफुल वेस तक्कवाफा आदे अडगुंड फुर्तमस फाहकोलम बेनुवे Saarc के हुरिहा मेंबर गौमतोगे फुरिहम अग्लबियत है को Saarc के
ತೆಂಗೊಂಡ ದೌರುಗೆ ರಿಯಾಸತು ದಿವಿಹಿ ರಾಜ್ಯವಣಿ ಲಿಪಿಗೆಂ ಗೊಸ್ಫಾ ಅದಿ ಮಿಫಹರುಗೆ ಸಾಕ್ ಸಮಿಟ್ಗೆ ಸೆಷನ್ ತೋಗೆ ರಿಯಾಸತು ಬಲಹಟ್ಟವಣಿ ದಿವಿಹಿ ದೌಲತ್ಗೆ MS ವೆರಿಯಾ ಮೊಹಮ್ಮದ್ ನಶೀದ್ ಅದೆ ಎಬೆಫ್ಳುಂ ಇಯೆ ದೆಕ್ಕೆವಿ ವಾಹಕತೆಗೆ ಸಳುಗೊಂಡ್ಮೆ ಮೇದು ಅಲಿ ಅಳ್ವಾಲಾಣ ಅದೆ ಹುರಿಹಾ ಕಾಂತಕುಂ ವೆಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾಗಂಡ್ ಗೊತೆಗ್ಗ ಫಾಹಗ ಕೊಫ್ಫಾ ಮಿಹುರಿ ಎಕ್ ಕಂತತ್ತಕೆ ಅದೆ ದೇದೆ ಗಾಂಬ್ಗೆ ಗುಳುಂಬದೆ ಕುರುಮಾ ತಿಮಾವೆ ಶೀಗೆ ಮಸಲ್ತಕ ಅದೆ ಹೇಯೋ ವೆರಿಕಮೆ ಕಾಯಂ ಕುರುಮಾ ಮಿಫದ ಬ್ಯಾವರು ಕಂತತ್ತಕ ಮಿವಣಿ ಹುರಿಹಾ ಕಾಂತಕುಂ ವೆಸ್ ಅಲಿ ಅಳ್ವಾಲ ವಾಫಾ ಅದೆ ಕೊಮ್ಮೆಕಸ್ ಅಳುಗೊಂಡ್ಮೇಣ ಮಿಸ್ ಸಮಿಟ್ ಫೆಶ್ಫಾ ವ್ಯಾರು ಮುಹಿಮ್ಮು ನಿಮ್ಮುಂತಕೆ ನಿಮ್ಮಿಗೆಂದಾಣೆ ಮೇದುಗೆ ಸೆಷನ್ಕಿ ವರ ಮುಹಿಮು ಸೆಷನ್ಕ ಫಾಹಗ ಕೊಲ್ಲಂಜೆ ಅದಿ ಹಾಸ ಗೊತೆಗ ಅದಿ ಅಳ್ಗೊಂಡ್ ಫಾಹಗ ಕೊಲ್ಲಂಬೆನ್ವೆ ಜೋನತ್ ಮಿ ಫಾರುಗೆ ಸಾಕ್ ಸಮಿಟಕಿ ದಿಮಿಕ್ರಾತಿ ಉಸೂಲುಂ ಇಂತಿಖಾಬ್ ಕೊಫಾವಾ ವೆರಿಂ ಫುರ್ತಮ ಫಹರ ಸಾಕ್ ಸಮಿಟೆಗ ಬ್ಯಾವೆರಿ ಫಹರ್ ಎನ್
ಅದೆ ಚಾಮೆಸ್ ಫಾಹ ಕೊರೆ ಫದಾ ಮಿ ಫಾರುಗೆ ಸಮಿಟ್ ಕಾ ಮೆಂಬರ್ ಗಾಮುಗೆ ಸ್ವೆರಿಂಗೆ ತೆರೆಂಗ್ ಹಮ ಮಿ ಗಮ್ ತಕ ಕೊರೆ ದೇಂದ ಹಾಪ್ ತಕ ಫುರ್ ಗಿನ ಮಿ ಲೀಡರ್ ಉನಕಿ ಫುರ್ಹೆ ಮಾಕ್ಲಬಿ ತಕೊಂ ಇಂತಿಹಾ ಬೆಫಾ ಬೆಫಳುಂ ದೆನ್ ಅಳು ಫಾಹ ಕೊಲಂಜೆ ಕುಡ ಕೊಮ್ಮಿ ಈಗೆ ಸಮಿಟ್ ಕ ಹಿಂಗಾದಿ ಕಂತತವೆಸ್ ಈಗೆ ಸಮಿಟ್ ಕ ಹುಳುಮಿಗೆ ರಸ್ಮಿಯಾತ್ ಕಾ ವಾಹಕ ದಕ್ವಾಫ್ ಮೆನಿ ಕುರಿಗೆ ರಿಯಾಸತ್ ಪಲಹಟ್ಟ ಮುಂಗೆಂದವಿ ನೇಪಾಲ್ಗೆ
ಬೊಡುಜೀರ್ ಬಾಬು ರಾಮ್ ಬಟರಾಯ್
ಸತಾರ ಸಾಕ್ ಸಮಿಟಿಯ ಹುಳುವಾದೆ ವಫ್ ಮೆನಿ ಮೀಡಿಯಾಹಾರು ಸಾಕ್ ಸಮಿಟ್ ಗೆ ರಿಯಾಸತ್ ಬಲಹಟ್ಟ ಮುಂಗೆಂದವಿ ಭೂಟಾನ್ ಗೆ ಬೊಡು ವಜೀರ್ ಜೀಗ್ ಮೇ ವೈತಿನ್ಲೆ ಎಮನಿಕ್ ಫಾನ್ ಗೆ ವಾಹಕ್ ಫುಳುಗ ಎಮನಿಕ್ ಫಾನ್ ಗೆ ರಿಯಾಸತ್ ಕಾ ಸಾಕ್ ಕೆ ಕಂಕಂ ಕುರಿಯ ಗೆಂದಿಯುಮ ಮೆಂಬರ್ ಗಾಮತಕಂ ವೆದೆ ವೆಹಿತಿರ್ ಕಮಾಯ ಬಾಲ್ಮ ವನಿ ಶುಕ್ರ ಅದಾ ಕುರ ವಫ ದೆನ್ ಈಯೆಗೆ ಸಮಿಟ್ ಇಫ್ತಾಹ್ ಕೊದ್ದಂ ಗೊತುಂ ಫುರತಮ ತಗ್ರೀರ್ ಕುರ ವಫ್ ಮೆನಿ ದ್ವಿಹ ರಾಜ್ಯಗೆ ಇಜ್ಜತೆ ರೈಸ್ ಜುಮ್ಹೂರಿಯಾ ಮೊಹಮ್ಮದ್ ನಶೀದ್ ಎಮನಿಕ್ ಫಾನ್ ಗೆ ವಾಹಕ್ ಫುಳುಗ ಸಾಕ್ ಕೆ ಗಾಮತ ಕುರಿಯರ ದಿಯುಮಟ್ಟಕ ಕುರೆಂಜೆ ಎಮ್ಮೆ ಮುಹಿಮು ಮಸಕ್ಕತಕಿ ಸಾಕ್ ಕೆ ಗಾಮತಕುಗ ವಕೀಮಿಯಂ ಇಕ್ತಿಸಾದಿ ನಿಜಾಮ್ ನಿಜಾಮಿಗೆ ದಶುಂ ಹಿಂಗೇನು ಗೊಯಂ ಹದ ಮುಳಿ ನಿಜಾಮ್ ತಂ ಹರ್ದನ ko itbara ki masake kuren fa de siyasi vetti gaim kurun kam gahennu ta vidal fe
ade algon faakolam beenun emanik faan ge wah fuluga vidal vi vihwana garunaki asia ge garunege gotka ade mustaqbal oti asia ge vidal fa ve gotun siyasi gotunna iktisodi gotun ves asia adhas gote ga dekunu asia de algon me nazar hingalam wani dekunu asia ge kurerma emanik faan wani wara bodan ali alwala wafa ade miharu duniyege bodeti bharatakun duniyege algon mena habar takun nachen aduwe gotka miharu muli duniye moti bodu iktisodi gotum bodu hinaru kamakan as adi hasa gotiga vilatuke daranige masalta kachi wara bodu duwasari mi duwaswariki ehe namaves huriha vilatuke gaumtakun ves miharu lo alumun gendani asia barruge gaumtaka sheikh sababaki asia ge iktisod edduhum fure aneddu kuriyer mondati asia ge duweya balafa e gaumtakun ves asia ge invest kon asia ge mustaqbal ekkama midani dekamon ehen kamon dekunu asia-ge qamtoge badalwa mifada forum ekga alugonmen komegoteves beenuwan alugonmenge sarahaddu emme kuri gonnade to ehma South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation ಸಾಕಕಿ ಮಿಫದ ಮುಹಿಮ್ಮು ನಿಮ್ಮುಂತ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಆದೆ ಮಿಫದ ಕುರಿಯರು ತಕ ಮಗ್ಫೈ ಕೊದ್ದೆ ಫೋರಮೆ ಗೊತುಗ ಅಳುಗೊಂಡ್ಮೆ ದೆಕೆಂಗೆ ಬಬೇಣುವೆ
ಅದ ಸಾಕೆ ಇಸ್ಲಾಹಿ ವಾಹಕ ಹೆನ್ನು ತೊ ಮಿಹಾರ ಕಸ್ತೆಕ ಮಿಗೆಂದನ್ ದೆನ್ ಸಾಕ್ ಫದ ಎಹೆನ್ ಸರಹದ್ದಿ ಜಮಾತ ಮಿಸ್ತಾಲಕ ವಿಲಾತ್ ಇತ್ತಿಹಾದ ಆಸಿಯಾನ್ ಫದ ಜಮಾತಕಂ ಫಿಲಾವಳ ಲಿಬಿಗಣ್ಣ ಸಾಕುಂದನಿ ಮಸಕ್ಕೆ ಕುರಮು ಎಗೊತು ಆಸಿಯಾನ್ ಅದ ನಫ್ತಾ ಹೆನ್ನು ತೊ ನಫ್ತಾ ಫದ ಜಮಾತಕಂ ಫಿಲಾವಳ ಲಿಬಿಗಣ್ಣ ಮುಗೆಂದಾರು ಎಗಂ ತಕ ಸಮ ಮಿ ನಸ್ಲಿ ಇಮ್ತಿಯಾಜ್ ತಕ ದಾಖಿಲ್ ಹಮ್ ಜಂತೆ ನಮಸ್ ಏಕಂತತ್ತಂ ಎಫರಾ ಕೊಲ್ಲಾಫ ಆಸಿಯಾನ್ ಫದ ಜಮಾಯತ್ತಕುಂ ಸಮಕುರಿಯ ಮಿದನಿ ಹಮ್ ಫಿಲಾವಳ ಲಿಬಿಗನೆ ಸಾಕುಂ ಸಮ್ಮಿಹಾನ್ ಮಿದನಿ ಎಫದ ಮಾಡೆಲ್ ಖದ್ದಿ ಮಹೆನ್ನು ತೋಮಸೆಕ್ಕೆ ಕುರಮು
ಅದೆ ಕೊಮೆಕಸ್ ಮಿ ಗುಳುಂ ಬದಹಿವಾಣಿ ಅದೇ ಗೌಮ್ ಥೋಗ್ ದೇ ತಿರೆಗ್ ಮರ್ನ ಗುಳುಂ ಬದಹಿವಾಣಿ ಎಗ್ಗೌಮ್ ಅಣೆಗ್ಗಮ್ ಒಣ್ಣ ಇತುಬಾರು ಬೊಡು ಕುರೆವಿಗೆಂ ಕಮ ಇಯಗೆ ವೇರಿಂಗೆ ವಾಹಕತೋಗ ಅಲೆಯಳು ಬಾಲ ವಾಫಾವೆ ಗೊತ್ತುಂ ಹಾಸ ಗೊತ್ತೆ ಗಾಳುಗೊಂಡು ಮೇ ಫಾಹ ಕೊಲ್ಲಂಜಿ ಹೇ ಕಂಡೆ ಇಂಡಿಯಾಯ ಪಾಕಿಸ್ತಾನ ದೇ ತಿರೆಗ್ ಮರ್ನ ಗುಳುಂಗೆ ವಾಹಕ ಅದು ಅಳುಗೊಂಡು ಮೇಣ ಅಬದ್ಮೆ ಇವೆಮು ಮಿದಣಿ ಸಾಕಿ ಗೌಮ್ ತಕ ಲಿಬೆಂವ ಕುರಿಯರು ಎದೆವೇ ಗೊತೆಗ ಲಿಬಿಗೆಣು ದಣಿ ಮಿದೆ ಗೌಮ್ಗೆ ದೇ ತಿರೆಗ ಮೇರ್ನ ಹಮಣು ಜಿಹುಮಾ ಗುಳಿಗೆಂ ಕಮ ಏಕ ಮುಂಕೊಮ್ಮೆಗೆ ಅಳುಗೊಂಡು ಮೇ ಮಿಫದ ಸಾಕ್ ಸಮಿಟ್ ಮಿಫಾರ್ ರಾಜ್ಯಗ ಬೇವಿಗೆಂದಾರ್ ಸತಾರ್ವಣ ಸಾಕ್ ಸಮಿಟ್ ಕ ಅಳುಗೊಂಡು ಮೇ ಬೇಣುವೆ ಮಿಕಮವೆಸ್ කොම්මස් වරිග්ගේ හල්ලෙල්ලි බිගෙන්දියුම
आधा बिहार कैस में देखे वे साक के गिन फोरम तक समय में देखे वे एम बोडे वाह के कि हम पाकिस्तान आ साक के में गुलुम के जमाम वी हाथुर वे गुलुम सबों साक ही ये नेल मुंदाकं हम हुशामा इस्तिफा करे फदैं हम गिन गांव तक को बिहार मसे के कुरनी एदे गांव तेरे में हाथुर वे कंग एक बा को लाफ नोट एफ्रैक को लाफ एदे गांव एक गल खेंगे रो हेनु तो मिफार के समिट के वे समाल में मिफेनी के मीडिया नु तो समिट का हवास आगे से गांव तक के वेरिंग एम फुरत मधु बादल कर वे दे गांव के फॉरेन सेक्रेटरीज अदीफ खारिजी वज़ीर के बदल तम बाबा फिर दाउन सम मी समिट के लाइव कवरेज के नम गिंदार फाह कोलन जे हमारे दो मी इंडिया के बड मी खारिजी वज़ीर एसएम कृष्णा या धेनु तो हम पाकिस्तान के खारिजी वज़ीर ही ना रब्बानी खैरा से बदल कर वाह बदल फॉर्म में मीडिया मी हम कर मी वाहत स्वर फोन उम्मीद तक हेनु तो में मिली गेंदे दिगम स्वर पॉजिटिव गत का दिगम के बेफ्लुएंस हेनु वाह का देखे देंग ए फॉर्म में ये मी फेनी गेंदे दिगम के इस वेरिम बदल करो गेंदे मंजर यह पर वे गेंदे इंटरनेशनल मीडिया अधे हम आलमेंगे दिवे राज्य के मीडिया स्वरंग उफायर हबरक अधि वकिंग हास को साक के इस्लाह बेनवे साक कुरियर व बेनवा फरातक वेगेंदे हेनु तो वर बडु हबरक थिंग देंग आलमेंग एमएम सामे उम्मीद कुरने मी समिट के हवास आलमेंग उम्मीद कुरी फद बद्दो में दे बेफलुंगे मी गुलुमा मी कुरी मी आलमेंग दिवे राज्य सिस्लगन कुर मसके कामयाब उनको तो हेनु तो मी फाह कुरनी
ගෙනස්තෙමු මිදිය ලයිව් කවරේජ් අල් ගෙනස්තෙමු දෙනි සතාරවන සාක් සමිට් ගේ නිමුම් ගේ රස්මියත් අද මේ රස්මියත් ගේ කුරියන් හොරි බෑතකෑ කුඩ වගුත් කොලෙක් තෙරේගා අලුගන් මේ බදල් කොල්ලාන
बिहार ते बेफना तिफने वडांडवनी सातारवण साक समिट के निमुम गे रस्मियात दावतेरिफवा बेफलुंग बोर्ड की बाणवत समिट बे वे कन्वेंशन सेंटर मा होल वडांडवा मंजरो दावतेरिफवा गिन बेफलुंग बिहार वणी होल तेरे वडांडवा फ कुडेर कोले गे तेरेगा सातारवण साक समिट के निमुम गे रस्मियात गे क्लोजिंग सेरेमनी नोत निमुम गे रस्मियात बेफना हमें अलमें लाइव को गिनस्ते उम्मी गेंदनी गेंदाण दें कुडेर कोले गे तेरेगा साक समिट के क्लोजिंग सेरेमनी के बारे वडांडवा मेंबर गांव तक की इज्जत तेरे वडांडवान दें मियद मिवनी साक समिट के मेंबर गांव तेरेंग अफगानिस्तान के रईस हामिद करजाई मी एमनिक फांड के गांव में हिन्नु तो
वडांडवा आदेलगुन में ना मालूमात बिफावागुत का मूसमा बेहे इदारत अफगानिस्तान के मूसमा बेहे इदारत कुन लफाको फवागुत का अफगानिस्तान का स्नो के तूफानिंग आउम के आउमा वणी इंजारु देवाफ एहम वेगें अफगानिस्तान के रईस हामिद करजाई वणी मिफारु के साक सतारवण साक समिट के फाउसिशन का बैर वडानुगें इंबुरी अकाउमा वडानवाफा
द क्लोजिंग सेरेमनी वाहक द क्राउन में कुडो को हुशामा फाह को लेंजे है नो तो मी समिट के मेदु निम्मे निम्मुंता दें अल में निम्मे फाहन मालूमात लिमुन गोतुगा मी साक समिट के मी फाइनल सेशन गा हतर एब्बस में गे हतर एब्बस में मेंबर गाम के तेरे एब्बस में कानाने एक तेरे फाह को लेवे एंगे एब्बस में की मेंबर गाम तेरे का मी गुजराती कार्य को लिबे गेल्लुं कुडकुरुम गोतुम मेंबर गाम तक मेदुगा एब्बार दिनु में बेवे एब्बस दें अनेंग एब्बस में की साक के मेंबर गाम तक दुगामे वे आने बस में की साक सीड बैंकिंग है तो दे आने दे बस में की वर व्यापारिया गुणुंगुरी दे बस में एक तेरेगा देगम के दे गम तेरेगा में फदे उफेदुन तक के मालूमात मेंबर गम तक का हिस्सा करूं इसमें हम एक बस में ध्यान में ना बस तक को सही कुरमुनी में नो तो फदे बस तक को मी तफसील त मी मीडिया नो त हम फराते के साम खोले वेन ध्यान में वरंग उफावा खमे मी अलमेंगे मी दिवे राज्य के साक समिट बे वेर में फदे इक्तसादी एजेंडा के दशुंग है नो तो मी कुरिय दागं देंग ये के मी लीडरुंग वाहक फ्लुग समय इक्तसादी बारलुम बोडा दिनुम वाहक देखे उम्मीद है
दे गम तो गमेत ग इक्तसादी गो तो ना ade viefarige muamalataka viefarige golun miharwes aslu onnan jehe waravure dakka fahakurawa mikantettakan halle genoma kure vidani kantettaka behe gotu aliyalu wala wafave ade ahasgoti galgon fahakolam beenumve Saarc Summit feshmge kurimves official baddalwuntake mevani bawa standing committee ge baddalwuntaka programming committee ge baddalwuntaka adi council of ministers ge baddalwunta mi baddalwuntauga algon zihu वनी स्टैंडिंग कमिटी के बदल म प्रोग्रामिंग कमिटी के बदल मुंत सेशन तो कुरी गेंदिया गए बलवाल वफ एम सेशंस तो दिया कंते त अर्नी जीहू हाईलाइट को लव
मी सार्क समिट के तेरे मिशमा इफाहा करे विगत प्रोग्रामिंग कमिटी के बदलुन तक स्टैंडिंग कमिटी के बदलुन तक विस्मी वनी मी बैरी फदी गेन इस्तीफा मी के तेरे विस बड़ फाहा करे दे इक्तसादी हम गिना मी वाहक तक मी गेन विगेन दे गाम गे तेरे दे गाम गे विउगा गे तेरे मी कुरे विफारी मधुकं गिना मीटिंग्स तक फाहा को एकंकं कुरियर म वाहक द काफे दिन गिना बेफ्लों मी फाहा करे विगत ग साक के मी ऑन सॉफ्टवेयर एग्रीमेंट के दशम वेफवा विफार अदि मी आराफ मनी हम एम थीम बिलियन मिहा तिबेफन तिफिन वडाणवणी 17 सार्क समिट के निमुम गे रस्मियात मी इज्जत तिबेफन वडाणवा मंजर आद मिहार दतर कुरवा इक्वेटोरियल सेंटर वडाणवा मंजर मी फेननी अद मिहार तिबेफन तिफिन वडाणवनी इंडिया के बड़ वजीर मनमोहन सिंह 17 सार्क समिट के निमुम गे रस्मियात का बारे वडागत मटका सार्क समिट के निमुम रस्मियात बावा इक्वेटोरियल सेंटर वडाणवा मंजर
अदे इंडिया के बड़ वजीर डॉक्टर मनमोहन सिंह हस्मी वनी इयगे बदलुम गा वाफुल दक्कवाफ एगुतुं इंडिया वनी वर गिना फुर्सत के इंडिया देने कमशा अदी इंडिया के फुरिहम एब्बारुलो साफ के गांव तक देवाने खमा विदालफा अदे इंडिया के बड़ वजीर डॉक्टर मनमोहन सिंह ही ये के सेशन के देखे वाहफुल अलियलवा बलालर कोमे गांव में बस ए गांव में गेते एतेरे के हालत एम फरत मारंगल कुरुम के मच्चे मनिक फंड गोवालेवे अदी एगोतों एतेरे के हालत रंगल को फिनमा इन्वेस्टरों कोमे गांव में का वेस इन्वेस्ट कुरुम फहिनु जिहेने खमा इल्तिमास कुरवा फावे अदलगुडु अदि खास गोतेगा फाग कोल्लम बेणुवे इयगे तगरीर बलालार एम्मे गिना नूस्वेरिंगे समाल कन लिबुडु तगरीर की इंडिया के बोर्ड वजीर डॉक्टर मनमोहन सिंह के तगरीर कन ए एमनिक फा
वाहक बाइक गांव तौगा मी एकं ओन्ननी सरकारों मिदने एरगे वेरिकम गोन सरकारों एकं गेंगुलुवा उसूलेगे नोनी सियासते के दशों एकं हिंगम दाने हेनमस वनवर बेलिगें वेफ्लों कंडालुवा कमवन्या ए बेजेगे मी मैकेनिज्म ओन्न एवेस लीफ ओन्न जेने तेमे मिकाल इदारी वरगिना मसलते बहुरी दें इदारी मसलतो वा दक्कम वेज्जा अलगुम में हम अबद सेवा दक्कन जेने मिहारो अलगुम में उम्मीद लीफ हमयती तांगा मी मेदु राज्य मिनिमिगिंदा समिट गे थेरेइन इदारे ओनगन इस्लाह कुनु वर्गिन मसकेतके कुरेगिन दाणकम आदि कंकम एब्बसुंतके हेदिगिन दाणकम
अदे ಅಳುಕೊಂಡ್ ಮೇಡ ದೆಕಮಿದನಿ ಸಾಕೆ ಇದಾರಿ ಒಣಿಗಂಡು ಬದಲ್ ಕುರುಮ್ಗೆ ವಾಕದೆತ್ತೋ ಇದಾರಿ ಒಣಿಗಂಡ ಬದಲ್ತಕೆ ಗೆನಿಸ್ಕೆನೆ ಸಾಕಂ ಎದೆವೆ ಬದಲ್ತಕೆ ಎಂಗಣ್ಣಾಣಿ ದೆ ಮೀಗೆ ತೆರೆಂಗ ತಿಪೆ ಫಿಲ್ಮ್ ಮೆ ಫಾಹಕೊಲ್ ರಿಫದೆಂ ಸಾಕೆ ಸೆಕ್ರೆಟರಿ ಜನರಲ್ ಕಂ ಹುಣ್ಣವಾ ಬೇಫ್ಲಕ ಇಥುರು ಭಾರತಕ್ಕೆ ದಿನಮ ಅದೆ ಕೌನ್ಸಿಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ನೊತ ಗಮ್ತೋಗೆ ಮಿತ್ಗಣ ಹಾರಿಜಿ ವಜೀರುಂಗೆ ಬದ್ದಲುಮ್ಗೆ ವೆಣಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ವಾಫ ತೆಂ ಅಳುಗೊಂಡಿ ತೆಂಗರಣಿ ಮಿಸಾಲಕ ಸೆಕ್ರೆಟರಿ ಜನರಲ್ ಕಂ ಹುಣ್ಣವಾ ಬೇಫ್ಲಕಂ ಇಥುರು ಭಾರತಕ್ಕೆ දෙවියස් දේදේ ගෞම්තෝග මෙදුගමෙරන හමනුජනත මිගොතුග ඔන්නන් නාමොන් සාකන් එදවේ කුරියරුන්තක මිසාහක සෙක්‍රටරි ජෙනරල්ක හුන්නවා බේෆ්ලක වෙස් කෙන විධාන භාවේ
මිහාර තිබෙෆ් නැතිවන ඩිෆෙන් වඩානවනි මේ සාකේ මිස් වෙරින්ගේ බද්ලොම්ගේ ක්ලෝසින් සෙෂන සාකින් බර්ගම්තක ඉස්බෙෆ්ලම් බෑර වඩානවා මන්සර් ಆದ ಮಿಹಾರ್ ಕನ್ವೆನ್ಷನ್ ಸೆಂಟರ್ ತಿವಡಾಣವಣಿ ಪಾಕಿಸ್ತಾನ್ಗೆ ಬಡ್ ವಜೀರ್ ಸಯ್ಯದ್ ಯೂಸುಫ್ ರಜಾ ಗಿಲಾನಿ ವದವಡಾಣವಾ ಮಂಜರು ಎಮನಿಕ್ ಫಂಡ್ ಗೆ ಇಸ್ತಿಕ್ಬಾಲ್ ಗ ದಿವಿ ರಾಜ್ಯ ಗೆ ರೈಸ್ ಜಮಹೂರಿಯಾ ಮೊಹಮ್ಮದ್ ನಶೀದ್ दारुण में हम मी कुरियक मी दक्कम मी दिए पाकिस्तान के तेरेगा साके तेरेगा पाकिस्तान के रोल गुसान मन को मिसर कल्याणु अल्याणु वाले हिंग जे एक हम पाकिस्तान इंडिया के सबों मी साके कुरियर मा ही नेले वाह कसमी हम आम को देखे मुदा वाह के नो तो साइफ
अरे मी देदे गुळुंतो वाह देदे गौमतो गुळुंतो वाह मी मी हम एम्मे बोडु मसले की मिहारो मी अलिफ दाल में दूरिगे हदाफा मी दिरासा को दक्का गोतुगा मी दुनिया के मी सरहद त मी कंडेली फोन नेरुगा देदे गौमतो एम्मे गुळुं कुड सरहद कम्युनिटी साक सरहद එහෙම මියස් ආල්ගොන හිතොන් ගාම්තකම් වරබඩ විස්නංජේ කම ඒගේ සවබොන් ගින කන්තත කුරන් කිතම වරකාදී එබ්බසොන්ත හෙදිකම ගාව සොයකුරිකම ගාවස් යන් අමලි සිෆාන් ඔන්නන් වර දුරුකම කවෙ එහෙම මිසායක පාකිස්තාන් ඉන්දියා මසලේ කි හම වර සාකන් ඒගේ සවබොන් වර බොඩ සාහුගේ කුරියරුම හුරස් ටෙලිෆෝන් කම කවෙ ෆමියන් මේ මසල හල්ලු කුරවේන දුවෙන් ආල්ගොන මෙන්නක ආම එක්ගොත් කේස් අන්දාජා කුරක්ක වෙස් නේගේ
අසුරු නමාදු වගුතු
ಅದೆ ದಾದಿ ದೆಮ್ಮೆಕು ಶ್ರೀಲಂಕಾಗೆ ರೈಸ್ ಮಹಿಂದ ರಾಜ ಪಕ್ಸೆ ಮಿವಣಿ ಸತಾರವಣ ಸಾಕ್ ಸಮಿಟ್ಗೆ ಎಮ್ಮೆ ಫೌಸೆಷನ್ಗಾ ಬ್ಯಾರುಮ ವಡಾಣವಾಫ ಮಣಿಕ್ ಫಾಂಡ್ಗೆ ಇಸ್ತಿಕ್ಬಾಲ್ಗಾ ದಿವಿ ದೌಲತ್ಗೆ ಮೇಸ್ವರಿಯಾ ಮೊಹಮ್ಮದ್ ನಶೀದ್ ಹುಣ್ಣವೆ ಅದೆ ಶ್ರೀಲಂಕಾಗೆ ರೈಸ್ ಮಹಿಂದ ರಾಜ ಪಕ್ಸೆ ಈಯೆಗೆ ಸೆಷನ್ಗೆ ದಿಕ್ಕೆ ವಾಹಕ್ತಕ ಬಲಾಲಾರು ಸಾಕ್ ಮೆಂಬರ್ ಗೌಮ್ತೋಗೆ ಹಿಮಿನೆ ಹಾಸ ಕಂತೆತ್ತೋಗೆ ವಾಹಕ್ ಅಬದು ಮೇ ದಿಕ್ಕೆ ವೇಕಮ ವಿದಾಳಫಾವೆ ಅದಿ ಹಾಸ ಗೊತೆಗ್ಗ ಫರ್ದಿ ಅದುಲ್ ಇನ್ಸಾಫ್ ಕಾಯಂ ಕುರುಮಾತಿ ಮಾವಶಿಗೆ ಮಸಲ್ತಂ ಹಲ್ಲು ಕುರುಮಾ ಬೆಹೆ ಗೊತುಂ ಎಮಣಿಕ್ ಫಾಣ್ವಾಣಿ ಅಲ್ಯಾಳು ವಾಲವಾಫ ಅದೆ ಶ್ರೀಲಂಕಾಗೆ ಎತೆಂ ಅಹರೆ ವಂದೆಗೆ ದಾಖಲಿ ಹಂಗುರಾಮ ನಿಯಮ ಹಗುಳಿಗೆ ಶ್ರೀಲಂಕಾ ಮಿಹಾರ್ ಎದವೆ ಕುರಿಯರುನ್ ತೆಕೆಲಿಬಿಗೆ ದಾಕಂ ಅಳುಗುನ್ ಮೆನ ಫೆಣಿಗೆ ಎಬದೆ ಕೊಮೆಕೆ ಸಾಕೆ ಮೆಂಬರ್ ಗೌಮೆಗೆ ಹೈಸಿಯತುನ್ ಶ್ರೀಲಂಕಾಗೆ ಮಿಫದ ಬಡ ಹಂಗುರಾಮ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ದಿಯುಮಾ ಗುಳಿಗೆ ಸಾಕವೆಸ್ ಏಗೆ ಅಸರು ಕುರಮುನ್ ದಾಕಂ ಅಳುಗುನ್ ಮೆನ ಫಾಹ ಕೊರೆವೆ
ಹಗೀಗತುಗ ಶ್ರೀಲಂಕಾಗ ಹಿಂಗ ಮುಂದಿಯ ದಾಖಲಿ ಈ ಹಂಗುರಾಮಾಗ ಸಾವಬಂ ಮೀ ಸಾಕವೆಸ್ එකමුගේ අසරු වරබඩ කොෆ ඔති කුරමුන්දී මී සාහුගේ මී ගෞම්තග මෙදුග hallu kurun dati masaleka ekam vefoti ehnames mi kurim salgon faha kurum dia fadang saahuge charter mennagotun gawm hinga itere kame gane gawm ka behwe usule nove ehmima algon dannawani mifaharu Saarc Summit Sri Lanka ga rais wadan neviruga e gawmuga e hinga dia digudemigin dia dakhili hangurama nimi niuma kanga ehmima hageto gammi en usulakum balakum wanya mi Sri Lanka libuna adi saakavas libun warabbodu hingama jehumaka wani ehnames ekan kamuge maccan hiyani ele ituru kame algon menna faha korave ei Sri Lanka ga hangurama nimmu mattaka eme fahogotu edin wargoda hamalatuga madanin take maralikama korevunde tuhmat ege tahgi aliftal miharus kuram midani ehmima Sri Lanka mihar wati hagigatuga wara nazuk fattarege algon dannawani masalage teriya duniyege bodeti gawmutakum wade ade aliftal sida aliftal ekan tahgi kuram dan ehmima mi dandiwalaki wara nazuk dandiwale Saarc Summit kuriya da iruga
den hum Sri Lanka ga wahaka dakka mundar Sri Lanka ga Rajapaksa Saarc Summit medan fani saif tifah kore fadan wara muhim dani walega emenik faana mi bayan lagwa mi masram wara bodati fittun tan ehnu to kurmat kurunda dani walega saif ga wahaka fulga istifah kore fadan mi emenik faana mi Saarc mi aliftal ga secretary general Ban Ki-moon ge has board ge matin ekudawade mi report ga ta hum Sri Lanka sarkar mi dani takurar ko tuhmat kurum madani numarakama ei hum hangurama ge terigamu ko hinga kantata gotuga sarkanu faha kurabani hama hangurama ge wahaka dakka mundar hangurama ge asiru gotka gangul mihuna adeg marale aila to kahal ge jehunu mihuna ekashi ge wa minwari ge Sri Lanka sarkarun ehi tervenu dekam ve sami gine bek faha kurumunda kame ehen nam Sri Lanka sarkarun hama takurar ko bunamun gendani e gamge hangurama ge hal ge jehunu mihuna ekashi ge wa femwaru ge dirul me dinuma hama sekke kuramun emidani kandelifa sungattaka ekan kurivi gendane ehen nam salman hama Sri Lanka ge report taka balala lair ham fenigендani ifada faratakuge mi shuru thama mikan nuwa kam gotuga kinta saif mi media mi dirasa kora faratakutu mikma detere kunani
hagetuga mi ti huriha masate ke tigotan huriruga emebada faha kravani hangurama dosaru ege nazuk hangurama halatu ga onna sarhad kawati utura irumacha Sri Lanka mi tamala mi tigerunge harkat bodon onna sarhad tak nuserin diumaki abadis mana kore fonna kame mihar hangurama nimi ni virus adis e halatu ge kan oti rakkatiri sarhad den nunkama sarkarun kandala ehme waram madu Sri Lanka ge nuserin tak sarhad devega menehmima sarhad ge halatu ge malumat mi emme rangal malumat agomenna hame libe gote nuwe ehnamis midenne mi Sri Lanka sarkarun hangurama niumattaka kuri masekken ei hamagama salgon mi sarhaddu ge saahuge gamutakum balaganna kantette
demi am mi huriha kam kurmat lavam genna salm ham fenige mi dem fam be intihab gas Rajapaksa wara furi maklabiyatakum ham kamyab kuram gen datan mi Rajapaksa gene bak mi faha kurwani ham nimi gen die dahili hangurama ga mestri gotuga ham he meruga askari leader Sarat Fonseca hen to intihab ga mi wada kurvi Sarat Fonseca wada kurwa gen ham intihab kamyab kurwe gen die manzar mi fenige mi die हम या को इंतहाब फवाल में फिनी गेंदी मी गानून हदा मजलिह के इंतहाब बेसमा एक एमनिक फान के पार्टिंग हम कामयाब करे वी गेंदी तंग
अदे मिहार तिबेफन तेफनी वडानवनी बांग्लादेश के बोर्ड वजीर शेख हसीना 17वन सार्क समिट के नियम के रस्मियात का बैरमा वडानवा मंजर अदे एमनिक एकमनागे इस्तिकबाल गास्ती वही दौलत के मिसरिया मोहम्मद मशीद हुन्नवी अदे बांग्लादेश के बोर्ड वजीर शेख हसीना ये के सेशन के दिखे वक्त का बलालर हुरिया कौम तकुम वस एबसवे मेंबर कौम तो के मदगावी फारी के गुळो मिहार वरे बोडा बदही कुर्म जेफा वाकमा अदे Bangladesh umvese komge faadaya member gomtaka ku gulum bade kurma beenum wakma ekmnawani vidalfa khasa gote galgon fahaga kollamve mihar council of ministers gaade dengonna council of ministers mifar mi kuriye de tiris hataruwana council of ministers ke baddalwon ad den kuriye dani hamas fahon tiris faswana council of ministers ke baddalum mi baddalwuma ki huriha komtog member gomtoge hariji wazirun ekuleve baddalum adi mi baddalwum ga railway agreement ga soy kurma mi wani hamajifa emvima miharu wara gina gaumtaku mevani mikaman intizaru kuramu
de mushavis kurin faha kole fadami lebaruna saak kamutaka asko sumuga miniwankan onnen je kam ehnu to bangladesh ke bodose she hasina gwa fulga yemi wani faha korwa fa emani fund ge tagrir ga vidal mani saak ke gamutaku ge beenun ta fuddumatta ka saak ke komme gamaka vis masekke terina daturu kurum ge miniwankan onnen je kamsha saak ka gaim kura masekke kura miniwankan furiyam wani erun kama ekamana ge tagrir ga faha korwa febbe adi gamtaku ge medugan itubara ihtiram kuruma democracy ge usul taka visnuma ಫೌ ಮಸಕ್ಕೆ ತೆರನ ಆಮುಣ್ಣ ಎಗ್ಗಮುಂ ಅನಿಗ್ಗಮ ದತರುಕುರುಂ ಗಹರೂರಸ್ತ ನತ್ತಾಲಂ ಎಬಜೆ ಕಮ ಸೆಮನಿ ಎಕಮನಾಗ ತಗ್ರಿರ್ ಮನಿ ಫಾಹ ಕುರವಾಫ ಎಕಮನಾ ಫಾಹ ಕುರವಾಫನಿ ಏರುನ್ನೆ ಅಳ್ಮೆ ಮಸಕ್ಕೆ ಮಿಕುರಾ ಮಿನಿವಂಕಂ ಗೆ ದಂಡುದಂಡ ಫುರಹಮ ಗೊತುಗ ಹಾಸಿಲ್ ಕುರವೆನೆ ಹೆಣ್ಣುತೋ ಅದಿ ದತರುಕುರುಂ ಗೆ ಮಿನಿವಂಕಂ ಮಸಕ್ಕೆ ತೆರಿನ ಎಕಮುಗ ವಿನಮಸ್ ಎಕಂ ಒಣ್ಣಂವಾಣಿ ಸರುಕಾರು ತಕುಂ ಕಂಡಾಳ ವರುಗದ ಉಸುಲ್ ತಕಕ ಮಿಂಗಣ್ ತಕ್ಕೆ ಗೆ ತೆರೆನ್ ಕಮ ವೆಸ್ ಎಕಮನಾವಣಿ ವಿದಾಳಫ ಹಮ ಹೆಮ್ಮೆ ಎಗೊತಂ ಅಮ ನುಕುರಾಣಮ ನಹಮ ಗೊತುಗ ಮಸಕ್ಕೆ ತೆರಿಂಗೆ ಬೇನುಂ ಹಿಫುಮಾ ಅದಿ ಹಿಜುರಕುರುಮು ದಿಮಾವಣ್ ಮಸತೆ ನಿಕುಣ್ಣಾಣಕಂ ವೆಸ್ ಹಸೀನಾಗ ವಾಹಕ್ ಫುಳುಗಾವಣಿ ಫಾಹ ಕುರಬಾಫ ಅದಿ ಅನಿಂಗ್ ಹೆಗ್ಗಮ್ಗೆ ವೆರಿನ ಮುಹಾತಬ್ ಕುರವಾ ಹಸೀನಾಗ ಹಿಯಾಲ ಎಗುತ ಫಾಳು ಕುರವಿರು ವಿದೇಸಿ ಮಸಕ್ಕೆ ತೆರಿಂಗ್ ಗೊತುಗ ರಾಜ್ಯ ಘಾತರು ಹಸ್ಮಿಯ ಗುದಿರಳು ಮೆಕ ಎನ್ನು ತಳ್ಮೆ ಇಮಿಗ್ರೇಷನ್ ಗೆ ತಫಾಸಿ ಸಾಪ್ತಕು ಮಿದಕ್ಕಣಿ
ಅದೇ ತೀಗಿ ತುರು ಸಲ್ಗೊಂಡ್ ಫಾಹಗ ಕೊಲ್ಲಂ ಬೇಣಂ ವೆ ಶೇ ಹಸೀನಾಗೆ ವಾಕ್ ಫುಳುಗ ದಳೆ ಫಣಿ ಸಾಸ್ ಕಫ್ತರ ಗೀಗೆ ಲಂಡನಿತ ಅದಿ ಮಿಲೇನಿಯಂ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಗೋಲ್ಸ್ ಮಿ ಹಾಸಿಲ್ ಕುರುಮ್ಗೆ ಮಚ್ಚ ಅದೇ ಅಳುಗೊಂಡ್ ಮೆಂಗೆ ರಾಜೇಂ ವೆಸ್ ಸಾಸ್ ಕಫ್ತರ ಗೀಗೆ ಲಂಡನ್ ತ ಹಾಸಿಲ್ ಕುರುಮಾಗಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಸೆಕೆತ್ತಕ್ಕೆ ಕುರಮುಂದಾಕಂ ಅಳುಗೊಂಡ್ ಮೆ ಫಾ ಕೊಲ್ಲಂಜೆ ಎಗತು ಮಿಫಹರುಗೆ ಸಾಕ್ ಸಮಿಟ್ ಕ ಹಾಸ ಗೊತೆ ಗಾದ್ ಸಾಕ್ ಸೆಕ್ರೆಟರಿ ಜನರಲ್ ಅಳುಗೊಂಡ್ ಮೆಣ್ಣ ಕುರಿಂದೆ ವೆ ಮೌಲೂಮಾತ್ ತೌಕಾಸ್ ಫಾ ಕೊಲ್ಲ ಫದಂ ಅದೇ ಕೌನ್ಸಿಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಗೆ ಬದ್ದಲುಂ ಗೆಸ್ವಣಿ ವಾಹಕೆ ದೆಕೆ ಫ ರಾಜೆ ಅಂಹೆನುನ್ನಾ ಕುಡಕುದಿನ್ಗೆ ಲಿಬಿದೆ ಹಗುತಂ ಇತುರ್ಕೋ ಅದೇ ಅಂಹೆನುನ್ನಾ ಕುಡಕುದಿನ್ಗೆ ಹಗುತಕ ಮಸೆಕೆ ಕುರುಮಾ ಬಿಹೆ ಗೊತಂ ಬೊಡ ವಾಹಕೆ ದೆಕೊಮ ಎಗತ ಸಾಸ್ ಕಫ್ತರ ಗಿ ಲಂಡನ್ ತ ತೆರೆಗೆ ರಾಜ್ಯ ಮಿಹಾರು ಹಾಸಿಲ್ ನುವೆ ಏ ಗೋಲ್ ದೆತ್ತೋ ಏ ಅಂಹೆನುಂಗೆ ಥರಗೆ ಅದೇ ಅಂಹೆನುಂ ಮಿಸಾಲ್ಕ ಬೊಡೆತಿ ಮಕಾಮ್ ತೋಗತಿ ಬಿ ಅಂಹೆನು ಅಳ್ಗೊಂಡ್ ಮೆ ರಾಜ್ಯಗೆ ಮಿಹಾರುಗೆ ಹಾಲ್ತ ಬಲಾಲಾರುಗ ಮತಿ ಮಗಾಮ್ ತೋಗ ಆದೆ ಬಾರುತ ಲಿಬಿದೆ ಮಗಾಮ್ ತೋಗ ಮಿಸಾಲಕ ಕೌನ್ಸಿಲರುಂಗೆ ಗೊತ್ಕ ಬೆಲಿಯಸೆಸ್ ರೈತುಂಗೆ ಮಜ್ಲಿಗೆ ಮೆಂಬರುಂಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತುಗ ಬೆಲಿಯಸೆಸ್ ಮುಹಿಮ್ಮು ನಿಮ್ಮುಂತ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮಗಾಮ್ಗ ಅಂಹೆಣುಂಗೆ ಮದುಕಂ ಅಳುಗೊಂಡ್ ಮೆನ ಫಾ ಕೊರೆವೆ ಎಹೆವೆಮ ಮಿಫದ ಸಮಿಟೆಗ್ ಅಳುಗೊಂಡ್ ಮೆ ಅಂಹೆಣುನ್ನ ಬೆಹೆ ಗೊತ್ತುಂ ಅಂಹೆಣುಂಗೆ ಹಗ್ಗುತಕ ಮಸೆಕೆ ಕುರ್ಮ ಗೊಲದ್ ಮಿಫಾರುಗೆ ಸೆಕ್ರೆಟರಿ ಜನರಲ್ ಕೀವೆ ಸಂಹೆಣೆಂ ಅಂಹೆ ಎಹೆವೆಮ ಅದೆ ಅಂಹೆಣುಂಗೆ ಹಗ್ಗುತಕ ಮಿಫದ ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಮಸೆಕೆತೆಗೆ ಕುರೆವಿಗೆ ದಾಕಮ ಅಳುಗೊಂಡ್ ಮೆ ಬೆಸ್ ವರ ಫಾಹಗ ಕೊಲ್ಲಂಜೆ ಹೆನೆ ಕಮೆದೆತ್ತ ದೆನ್ ಅಳ್ಮೆ ಮೀಡಿಯಾಗ ಮೆ ಆಮಗೊತಕ ಮಿ ದಕ್ಕಣಿ ಅಲಿಫ್ ತಾಲ್ಗೆ ಸಾಸ್ಕಫ್ಗೆ ತರ ಗಿಗೆ ಲಂಡನಿಗೆ එහෙනම් සල්මෙන් ෆාහ කොල්ලන්ජේ සරහද්දි ෆෙම්වරුගේ සෙබොවේ සාක්කේ ತರಗಿಗೆ ಲಂಡನಿಂಗೆ ದ ಮೇಗೆ ತೆರೆಗಳು ಮೆ ಹಮ್ ಮಿಫಾರುಗೆ ಸಮಿಟ್ ಕ ವರಬುಡ ಹಮ್ಮಿತ್ ಕಂಗೆ ಬದೆ ಫಗೀರು ಕಣ್ಣ ತಾಲುಮಾ ಬೆಹೆ ಗೊತುಂ ಹಮ್ ಫಾಹ ಕೊಲ್ಲಾರು ಹಮ ಸರಹದ್ದಿ ಫೆಮ್ವರುಗೆ ಅದಿವಿಸ್ಕಿನ ದೆಗೆ ಮಿ ಫಗೀರು ಮಿ ದಿರೋಳಮ ದಾಕಂ ಫಾಹ ಕೊರೆನ ಹಮ ದಿರೋಳಮಗ ದಫಂತಿಗೆ ಅಲಿಫ್ತಾಲ್ಗೆ ತರಗಿಗೆ ಲಂಡನಿಗೆ ಗೊತಕ ಸಾಕ್ಕೆ ತರಗಿಗೆ ಲಂಡನ್ ವಿಸ್ ಫುಲ್ಫಿಲ್ ನೋತ ಮಿ ಅಮಾಜ್ ವಾಸಲ್ ನುವೆ ಫದ ಗೊತಕ ಫೆನ್ನ ಮುಂದಾತಿ ಹಮ್ ಮಿಫಾರುಗೆ ಕೌನ್ಸಿಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಗೆ ವಿಸ್ ಅದಿ ಈಗೆ ಸಮಿಟ್ ಕ ಮಿ ಸಾಕ್ಕೆ ಸೆಕ್ರೆಟರಿ ಜನರಲ್ ದಿಯಾನಾಗೆ ವಾಹ ಫ್ಲೋಸ್ ಏಕಮ ವರ ಬೊಡಂ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಳ್ವಾಲ ವಾಫೆಬೆ ಸಾಸ್ ಫಿಗೆ ಮಿ ಫಗೀರು ಕಣ್ಣ ತಾಲ ಲಂಡನ್ ಮಿ ಜುಲೈ ಮಾಲ್ ಮೆ ಹಮ್ ಕೊಮ್ಮೆ ವಿಸ್ ಗಮ್ ತಕುಂ ಎ ಬಾರ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ ಎ ಅಮಾಜ ವಾಸಲ್ ವಾಂಜೆ ಸೈಫ್ ಕಿಕೆ ತೋ ಮಿಕಮ ವಿತಾಣ
ಹಗೀಗತುಗ ಮಿ ಸರಹದ್ದುಗ ಮಿ ಗಮ್ತೋಗ ಮಿ ಹುನ್ನ ಮಿ ಏಕೆ ಮಸಲತ ಹಂಗುರಾಮಯ ಮಿ ಎನುಂ ವೆಸ್ huriha masatege aslaka mi wefawani fagiru halatuga saw mikankam feshuma magufayone ehmima gaumtaka miharu emme boda kuranje hifawa kamaki sarhad fagiru halatu negu ekan kurmattaka mi dede gaumta guligen wajhe maseketta kor misalaka eki level ge eki fembaru ge gaumta misaka algumen rajye ki algumen beru gaumta kun algumen libe echege maccha noni ma bod gina gudurati wasilet algumen rajye kune bim kodefan mi kandu ge sarhad bodi ehmema hagigatuga mi misaka india ka gaumta mi musandi gaumta duniya nisbatum mi iktisad wargoda gaumta ehonna ehmema huriha gaumta ke gulge ekati garnaka wege nuni midennika mas tifaha kore kanteken hallu kore kanne e de gulu misaka bangladesh ke bodo zero se boda faha korvi huriha gaumta gulige mase koggenne kantata hallu korevene hallu kurumattaka miharu eki gaumta kun ebbarulum den khandala for daira takavure we have gina daira takun ithura gulum gaim kurang timan kamana fenwada nave ekama barolwa ye wahak pul dikkeden demme faha korve mi anghenunna mi sarhaddo gamtaku misalaka siyasi darawun heni afkaro bangladesh hen ekam em boda wakalat koro hagi bangladesh ke bodo zir kami hunna ne anghem befle idikol leader kami hunna ne anghem befle emima e beflon kanne mi kama me is nangom visi hagi to ga misarhad gam to ka balaro siyasi maidanu ga anghenu ga harkateru iktisadi daira ga anghenu ga harkateru nisbatum kuda emima e saakuge mi weringe femmaru
Saarc Saarc Summit ka miyadu kuriya dani iftitahi jalsa ga agenda item ta furiham kurma Saarc Saarc Summit nimum rasmiyat fishkendani Saarc komta ga izzat tervering mimalma wadagatumun. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to the continuation of the inaugural session and the concluding session. May I now invite the Excellencies, the heads of state and heads of government, and the Foreign Minister of the Islamic Republic of Afghanistan to the summit hall.
Excellencies, distinguished delegates, welcome back to our second day of deliberations. We, of course, finish our summit today. First, I would like to convey to everyone President Karzai of Afghanistan's regrets that he cannot be here today with us. But during the retreat, we have deliberated with the President present, and we do not see any issues arising from that. A second issue that I would like to point out is on the agenda again. There are other heads who are having to leave as early as possible, and therefore they have requested me to see if other heads would agree to change the order of the agenda, mainly agenda 7 to go in place of agenda item 10. So if there is no objection to that, I would take this as accepted. Thank you, and therefore I will now move to agenda item 10, which is we have a number of agreements that the Council of Ministers have deliberated and agreed upon, and therefore we are indeed pleased to see these agreements signed. So I will proceed with that agenda item, which is item 10, signing of agreements. We have 4 agreements that are to be signed today. One is a Saarc agreement on rapid response to natural disasters. 2 is a Saarc agreement on multilateral arrangement on recognition of conformity assessment. A 3rd is an agreement on implementation of regional standards. And the 4th is the agreement on seed bank arrangement. I therefore invite honourable foreign ministers to proceed to the table set up in the front for them to sign these agreements. Foreign ministers, please come to the table. Thank you very much, foreign ministers. We will then now proceed to the next agenda item, which is item 7. In item 7, we have the pleasure of hearing addresses from observers of the South Asia Regional Cooperation. Before I give the floor to observers, I would like to very respectfully remind observers to maintain the time limits advised before. To begin with, may I invite the head of delegation from Australia to make a brief statement.
Thank you, Your Excellency President Nasheed, Saarc leaders and ministers, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for the opportunity to address the 17th Saarc Summit. And thank you to the government and people of the Maldives for the fantastic arrangements for this summit, as well as your kind hospitality. And I'd like to congratulate you, President Nasheed, on your leadership of Saarc. Can I also congratulate the new Saarc Secretary-General, Ms Saeed, on taking up her position. Ms Saeed's appointment marks a number of firsts. She is the first woman in the position, the youngest Saarc Secretary-General, and she is the first who is a graduate of the University of Tasmania in Australia. Secretary-General, Permit us, Australians, to take a sense of parochial pride in you and your achievements. I'm honoured to be here to observe the 17th Saarc Summit on behalf of Australia. I'm here to listen and to learn. And I'm representing Australia because of a clear practical assessment of Australia's priorities and interests. For it is very clear to us that over the coming decades, much of the global story of humanity will be shaped by the story that unfolds here in South Asia. Australia is, of course, a country of the Indian Ocean, just as it is of the Pacific. And over the past year, I've travelled to every Pacific Island country and have seen firsthand the problems faced by the small island states of the Pacific. Many of these challenges are faced by small island states across the globe. Prior to arriving here in the Maldives, I visited the Seychelles, and there is much that can be shared in the experiences of life by small island states, both in the Pacific and Indian Oceans. I also believe that there is much that can be shared between the larger ocean-rimmed countries of the Pacific and Indian Oceans in partnering with small island states in their development, and this is an area of cooperation Australia is keen to explore. But fundamentally, Australia recognises the growing strategic, economic, diplomatic, commercial and political weight of the South Asian region and its extraordinary potential. Australia is committed to enhancing its engagement with South Asia. We are natural partners. We share some of our history, and many of us were in Perth recently for the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting. We share the Indian Ocean. We share common interests in security, prosperity and democracy. Our goods and services trade with the region was over $20 billion in 2010. And our strong people-to-people links have been developed over decades as hundreds of thousands of people from South Asia have made Australia their home. But most importantly, Mr Chairman, we share cricket. And I grew up marvelling at the feats of the likes of Kapil Dev and Javed Miandad. In recent times, all Australians have shared in the joy of witnessing the astonishing achievements of Matai Muralidharan, and we are thrilled by getting to know the newest stars of world cricket in Bangladesh, such as Shakib Al Hassan. You know, it's estimated that today 80% of the global cricket economy is based in South Asia. And there can be no more dramatic statistic than this to focus the Australian mind about the power and potential of South Asia in every field of human endeavour. Saarc, with its mandate to link South Asia internally and with surrounding regions, plays an important role in assisting the countries of the region to fulfil their potential, and we stand ready to support Saarc in whatever capacity we can. Next week, Australia will take on the position of Vice Chair of the Indian Ocean Rim Association for Regional Cooperation for the next 2 years, and we will assume the Chair of IRAC for 2013-2014. My colleague, Foreign Minister Kevin Rudd, will attend the Council of Ministers meeting of IRAC in Bangalore. And this highlights our commitment and strengthens our engagement with the Indian Ocean. It underlines the fact that Australia is a country of the Indian Ocean as well as a Pacific nation, a fact recognised in the development of our trade, in our development cooperation program, in our defence white paper and in CHOGM last month. The growth and prosperity of each member of Saarc provides opportunities to the others to promote growth and prosperity. To quote from a previous statement of Prime Minister Singh, this mutuality of interests is the central driving force of regional cooperation everywhere. Economic integration doesn't happen by accident. Tough decisions must be made to build trade, investment and infrastructure connectivity. And we appreciate your efforts and achievements in reducing barriers to trading across borders in South Asia. Integrating the economies of South Asia will quite literally change the world. It is, of course, Australia's view that we have much to gain from a stronger, more united South Asia, and our perspective is reflective of the fact that indeed the world has much to gain from a stronger and more united South Asia. But perhaps at this gathering, the really pertinent point is that South Asia itself will have so much to gain from a stronger and more united South Asia. At the 16th Saarc Summit, my former colleague Bob McMullen announced a project with Saarc focused on improving water management and dry land agriculture. I'm pleased to report the project was officially launched in Dhaka in August this year by the Honourable Secretary-General of Saarc in the presence of Australia's High Commissioner to Bangladesh. Australia is also in the process of shaping our official development assistance strategy for South Asia to complement the Building Bridges theme in Saarc, acknowledging that economic and infrastructure connectivity are crucial enablers for the development and integration in the region. And so today I am pleased to announce a $20 million contribution over the next 2 years to extend the Infrastructure for Growth initiative for South Asia. Our total contribution to this initiative will be almost $40 million over 6 years.
Thank you very much, His Excellency Mohammed Nasheed, President of the Republic of Maldives and the Chair of the Saarc. Distinguished representatives of Saarc member states, observer states and organizations, as well as the secretaries and ladies and gentlemen. It is my great pleasure and honor to be given the opportunity to speak here in the 17th Saarc Summit meeting on behalf of the government of Japan. I would like to commend President Nasheed and the Maldivian government on their excellent chairmanship and thank them for their warmest hospitality extend to all of us. Mr. Chairperson, first and foremost, I would like to reiterate the profound gratitude of all the Japanese people for the compassion, solidarity, and the support shown by all Saarc countries and observers in the wake of the Great East Japan earthquake. Just as one example, the Maldives has kindly provided us with around 690,000 tuna cans in addition to a generous monetary donation. With support and encouragement from the international community, the daily lives of those outside the affected areas have almost returned to normal, and damaged supply chains are close to full restored. We are making steady progress towards securing stable control of the accident at the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power station. The Japanese people will never forget all the assistance received. We shall repay your kindness by contributing to peace and prosperity around the globe in an active manner. As part of such efforts, Japan will hold an international conference in the disaster-stricken Tohoku region in 2012 to share the lesson learned from large-scale natural disasters such as the Great East Japan earthquake, and to boost international cooperation. Building upon its outcome, we propose to host the Third World Conference on Disaster Reduction in 2015 to take a leading role in building a resilient society. Mr. Chairperson, we continue to take great interest in the discussion in this summit on environment and climate change, as well as a natural disaster. I congratulate the Saarc Agreement on rapid response to natural disaster just signed by leaders today. On our part, we remain committed to implementing the $15 billion Fast Start Finance up to 2012 to countries vulnerable to natural disasters. In the Saarc region, we have supported the Indian Ocean Tsunami Warning System through financing assistance and information sharing. As another example of our cooperation, the development of our early warning system and cyclone shelters in Bangladesh had contributed to the reduction of human casualties when Cyclone Cedar hit the country in 2007. We continue to support the strengthening of disaster reduction measured by Saarc countries. Regarding the UN climate change negotiations, Japan firmly believes that the international community must make clear progress at COP17 towards the ultimate goal of adopting expeditiously a new, single, and comprehensive legal document which will establish a fair and effective international framework in which all major economies participate. We would like to cooperate with Saarc countries to address climate change as this region's greatest long-term security threat. Mr. Chairperson, Japan fully supports the theme of the summit, building bridges. While progress in regional cooperation has been highlighted at the leaders' inaugural speeches, much more work needs to be done, as President Nasheed pointed out. I strongly agree that further need to bridge the divides which still remain between the countries, economies, and the people. We will thus continue to assist Saarc's efforts in improving connectivity within and beyond its borders through ODA and private sector investment. We are also eager to build bridges between Japan and the Saarc countries through people-to-people exchange. The government of Japan is considering the launch of the youth exchange program to connect Japan's disaster-affected areas with Asia-Pacific region, including the Saarc region. Mr. Chairperson, last but not least, I would like to say a few words on Japan's cooperation with Saarc member states in the area of peace and security. We are committed to support the stability in Afghanistan, a democratic government and economic reform in Pakistan, the peace and the democratization process in Nepal, further consideration of democracy in Bhutan and the Maldives, and the further disaster preparedness in Bangladesh. As maritime piracy has been addressed as a growing threat to our security and stability in the summit, Japan has been tackling the issue of piracy off the coast of Somalia and in the Gulf of Aden in cooperation with India, Sri Lanka, and the Maldives. In closing, I would like to praise determination expressed by the Saarc leaders to take further action to build on what has been discussed in the past summit meetings. With such determination for more tangible results, I would like to reiterate Japan's commitment to work closely with South Asian countries towards peace and prosperity of the region and beyond. Thank you for your kindness attention.
Thank you very much, Vice Minister. I now invite the head of delegation from Republic of Korea to give his address. Please proceed.
Excellency Mohamed Nasheed, President of the Republic of Maldives, Excellencies, distinguished guests. First of all, I would like to congratulate President Nasheed on assuming the chair of Saarc. I also wish to express my sincere appreciation to the government of Maldives for hosting this important meeting. It is my great honor to be here with excellencies and distinguished guests on this heavenly coral island. Excellencies, home to a quarter of the world's population, South Asia has shown a remarkable economic growth during the past couple of years, becoming a new growth engine of the global economy. Furthermore, South Asia, most notably Sri Lanka and Nepal, has made significant progress in democracy and political stability. As a result, the international community's attention and expectation on South Asia and Saarc as its one and only regional cooperation association have become greater than ever. Recently, Saarc has made tangible progress on regional cooperation based on the political and economic developments within the member countries. Not only has South Asia Free Trade Area come into effect, the Secretariat for Saarc Development Fund has officially been launched, laying a solid foundation for enhanced cooperation among Saarc members. I believe that this year's summit, under the theme of building bridges, has successfully produced creative ideas to realize the vision and commitment of the Saarc members on regional cooperation. Excellencies, Korea has been cooperating closely with Saarc member countries in their efforts to realize socio-economic development. Over the past decade, South Asia has emerged as an important economic partner for Korea. Korea's trade volume with SAARC members increased by 40% last year. Korea's investment in the region is also surging rapidly. In particular, Korean companies are actively investing in infrastructure such as roads, dams, and power plants, thereby contributing to the economic development of the region. Moreover, Korea has provided employment opportunities for 40,000 South Asian workers through the employment permit system. Korea is assisting South Asian countries that are vulnerable to climate change, such as Maldives, in order to harmonize economic growth with environmental sustainability. In particular, Korea is helping South Asian countries to enhance their capacity to tackle problems arising from climate change through the East Asia Climate Partnership, and will contribute to the green growth of the South Asian countries through the Global Green Growth Institute. Excellencies, distinguished guests, as you all know, Korea has overcome the destruction of war and transformed itself from a recipient of international aid to a member of OECD Development Assistance Committee within a half century. Such a change would not have been possible without the help of the international community, and now Korea wishes to return the help it once received. To this end, Korea will continue to expand its development assistance toward SAARC members. The total volume of Korea's official development assistance to this region accounts for nearly 20% of Korea's total ODA. Korea plans to further increase its ODA to this region in accordance with its commitment to triple its ODA volume by 2015. Moreover, the Korean government has made great efforts to enhance the capacity of the SAARC members by actively sharing its experience and know-how. Korea will continue to expand the SAARC Special Training Program, which it has been carrying out since 2008 for 100 government officials from South Asian countries each year. Korea will further increase new projects aimed at sharing Korea's development experience. For example, my government plans to launch Korea Project on International Agriculture Center in South Asian countries to share its know-how on agricultural technology. We'll also offer knowledge-sharing program through which policy recommendations on economic growth will be offered. Korea intends to further enhance multilateral cooperation with SAARC. The Korea-SAARC Partnership Seminar, which was held last year for the first time, is set to become an annual event. It will serve as a forum in which we can exchange views on long-term cooperation and explore areas of Korea-SAARC cooperation. As you may know, 3 weeks from now, Korea will be hosting the 4th High-Level Forum on Aid Effectiveness in Busan, Korea. This forum is all the more significant as it is being held at a critical juncture where there is an urgent need for the global community's united response to recurring global financial crisis. As the host country, Korea will seek ways to enhance aid effectiveness through constructive cooperation with the newly emerging economies, including South Asian countries. In this regard, I would like to request the active participation and support from SAARC member countries. Excellencies, SAARC, which has recently gained a foothold for its advancement, is facing another enormous challenges. The year 2011 is the starting point for the transition of security, governance, and development responsibility in Afghanistan. And the next 3 to 4 years will be crucial not only for Afghanistan, but for the peace and stability of the entire South Asia. The international community is exploring various ways to support lasting peace and stability in Afghanistan after 2014, and Korea will spare no efforts in these endeavors. I believe the commitment and efforts of the countries within the region is of utmost importance to the stability of South Asia. I strongly believe that Saarc will play a significant role in achieving regional harmony and stability by promoting economic, social, and cultural cooperation among its members. I would like to end by offering my heartfelt congratulations on the success of the 17th Saarc Summit, and I hope that this year's meeting will bring member countries one step closer to regional cooperation and integration. The Republic of Korea will continue to support Saarc members in their efforts to realize peace and prosperity within the region. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Head of Delegation from Korea. I will now request the Head of Delegation from Myanmar to deliver his statement.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Excellency Mohamed Nasheed, President of Maldives, Excellencies, Head of State and Government of Saarc member countries, Madam Secretary General, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed a great privilege and honor for me to attend this Saarc Summit representing of Republic of Union of Myanmar as an observer country. Since Myanmar was accorded observer status at the 15th Summit held in Colombo in August 2008, I would like to express my profound thanks to the government and people of Maldives for their warm and generous hospitalities accorded to me and my delegations, and for the excellent arrangement to host this grand summit. I would also like to offer my warm congratulations to His Excellency Mohamed Nasheed, President of Maldives, for his assumption of the chairmanship of Saarc. And also I wish to pay a special tribute to the outgoing chairmanship, His Excellency Mr. Jamil Tenle, Prime Minister of Royal Government of Bhutan, for his outstanding leadership and contribution to the Saarc during his tenure of chairmanships. As an observer of Saarc, Myanmar reaffirms its pledge to associate more closely with this association to achieve its goals and objectives in accordance with the guidelines for observerships. Mr. Chairman and Excellencies, with the globalization process, our economies are ever more interconnected with our neighbors in the South Asian regions. In view of Myanmar's geographical proximity and strong cultural and historical linkages with the members of Saarc, we have a strong desire to promote closer relations with Saarc member countries. We hope that Myanmar's observerships and closer cooperation with Saarc will provide us the opportunity to serve as the gateway for South Asia to Southeast Asia and also to the East Asia countries for the common benefits of the people of the countries in the region. Myanmar is in a position to serve as a land bridge to promote connectivity between Saarc and ASEAN. Myanmar welcomes Saarc mechanisms, which is designed to place a strong focus on better connectivity, not only within the South Asian, but also between the regions and the rest of the world. Within Myanmar, within ASEAN are also making efforts to promote connectivity in the regions and beyond by assigning a high-level task force to develop a master plan on ASEAN connectivity. We hope that our further closer engagement with Saarc will provide us the opportunity to work collectively with member countries and observer countries for the mutual benefits, continued progress and prosperity of the people of the regions. Mr. Chairman and Excellencies, we are also pleased to witness that South Asia today is in transformation into a region of economic vibrancies and social change. In this regard, Saarc, representing 1/5 of the world population, has been playing a prominent role in maintenance of peace and stability, as well as in promoting the economic and social developments of the region. Saarc has gained the momentum of regional cooperation by launching the third decades of its establishment as the decades of implementations. These remarkable developments of Saarc and Myanmar's strong desire to further strengthen relations with South Asian countries have inspired us to seek closer cooperation with Saarc and its member countries. The government of Myanmar has therefore decided to associate itself with Saarc as the status of observer. Mr. Chairman and Excellencies, building bridges is one of the most important things for mutual cooperation. As we know, our economic development, transportations, and people-to-people interactions play a vital role to improve for the countries to strengthen their relationships. Myanmar delegations believe that the themes selected for this summit is most relevant. In light of the current challenges faced by the South Asian region, Saarc needs to build a new bridges linking Greater Asia and the rest of the world so as to overcome these challenges and to move faster towards socio-economic developments of the regions. By rising to these themes, Saarc countries will not only help themselves but also become a net contributor to global economic prosperity. Communications and collaborations can also be improved throughout the regions. As all are well aware, South Asia is a place of diverse culture, languages, and religions. I am confident that building greater ties between the countries of the regions and integrating its economy would help them build a more prosperous society. Mr. Chairman and Excellencies, we have seen political developments in South Asian countries in recent years. I would like to take this opportunity to share with you some highlights of the political developments in Myanmar. Myanmar has now emerged as a new state with a democratically elected government in place. We have successfully transformed our country from a military government to a constitutional government in a peaceful, systematic, and orderly manner. The government of Myanmar has already started to undertake a series of reforms to bring about socio-economic developments, particularly rural developments and poverty alleviations. The new systems of governance will be transparent, responsive, and maintain rule of law. We are serious about the transformation process, but we need time, we need understanding and support of the international community in our efforts to build the country to become a democratic and economically developed nation. Mr. Chairman and Excellencies, I would like to reiterate that the government of Myanmar fully shares the goals and objectives of Saarc and expresses its readiness to deepen the mutually beneficial cooperation with members of Saarc. We also look forward to working more closely with Saarc member states in both bilateral and multilateral context in the years ahead. May I offer my best wishes for the greater success of President 17 Saarc Summit. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, the head of delegation from Myanmar. May I now invite the head of delegation from the United States of America to deliver his statement. Please proceed.
Thank you. President
May
Nasheed.
I request the Myanmar delegate to press the button.
Thank you.
Thank you.
President Nasheed, distinguished heads of state and government, Secretary General Saeed, ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to be here today to represent the United States at the 17th Saarc Summit. Let me also congratulate the government of Maldives for their outstanding arrangements to host this summit in such a beautiful setting. Mr. Chairman, Saarc first welcomed the United States as an observer nation in 2007, and we look forward to the summit each year as a chance to broaden and deepen our partnership with all of the countries of South Asia. This year's Saarc meeting and its emphasis on building bridges comes at a particularly opportune time for the region and its international partners. Regional leaders gathered in Istanbul last week to reaffirm their commitment to a secure, stable, and prosperous Afghanistan in a secure and stable region. 85 countries and 15 international organizations are expected in Bonn on December 5th to endorse the Istanbul vision and review how to support the important transitions that are taking place in Afghanistan. There are no quick and easy solutions to the collective challenges ahead, but the United States remains firmly committed to helping facilitate a vision of regional trade ties and economic prosperity that will create jobs and opportunity for the people of the region. Secretary Clinton outlined the contours of this vision in Chennai this summer, calling for the creation of a new Silk Road linking the economies of South and Central Asia together in a web of investment, trade, transit, and people-to-people connections. In Istanbul last week, Afghanistan and its neighbors helpfully brought this idea one step closer to fruition, pledging cooperation on issues of mutual interest while agreeing to the principle of non-interference and full respect for Afghan sovereignty. The logic behind the new Silk Road vision, which we believe is ripe for implementation, represents an important alternative to insecurity and extremism. We understand the change will not take place overnight, but a number of recent developments across South Asia offer reason for significant hope. The United States is very encouraged by the positive recent steps taken by the governments of India and Pakistan to initiate closer trade and commercial ties and to seek further progress in a wide range of areas. Increased economic linkages between India and Pakistan will create a natural foundation for a stronger bilateral relationship and yield dividends for citizens across the region. We also welcome the historic transit trade agreement between Afghanistan and Pakistan and look forward to its full implementation. Numerous other bilateral agreements and outreach efforts between South Asian capitals are also in the works and offer great promise in helping the region overcome its minimal economic integration, which currently stands at less than 5% of total trade. As the United States has found, trade with neighbors makes good economic sense. Canada and Mexico are two of our biggest international trading partners. That's why we fully embrace the objectives of the South Asia Free Trade Area, one of Saarc's most significant, if yet fully unfulfilled, achievements. A fully implemented SAFTA would provide a strong, stable, and transparent framework for investment and trade, and has the potential to foster greater opportunity across the Saarc region. The economic potential of a more open and integrated South Asia, home to over 1/5 of the world's population, is virtually unlimited. But in the 21st century, creating opportunities that can positively impact all corners of society must go well beyond policy actions to lift protectionist trade barriers, even though that is an important first step. It also entails an abiding commitment by governments to improve the way they do business in the service of their people. In September, at the UN General Assembly meeting in New York, President Obama joined world leaders from 46 nations to launch the Open Government Partnership, an approach that calls for governments around the world to recommit to transparency and accountability, to increase civic engagement, and to harness new technologies in the pursuit of better governance and a better world. For its part, the United States remains firmly committed to its belief that Saarc, as an established, homegrown institution, will have its best days in front of it once regional linkages in South Asia begin to blossom. Secretary Clinton's recent decision to designate our ambassador in Nepal as our lead U.S. official to Saarc was a signal of that conviction, and we have confidence that this year's summit theme of building bridges is the right message moving forward for the countries of South Asia. Mr. Chairman, the United States will seek new ways to offer our resources and expertise to the countries of Saarc on education, cross-border energy linkages, economic reform, poverty alleviation, polio eradication, climate change, and much more. In the year 2011, the United States is on track to provide a total of over $4 billion in bilateral assistance to individual Saarc member states and another $7.5 million for various regional assistance projects. Ladies and gentlemen, the United States again congratulates and thanks the government of Maldives for its leadership and excellent hospitality, and we rededicate ourselves to working with Saarc and all of the governments of South Asia to expand cooperation, prosperity, and opportunity for all in this vital region of the world. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. We now move to the next item of the agenda, which is agenda item 8. And before we do that, I would like to point out that the Prime Minister of Pakistan had to leave, and in his place we have the ambassador, the Pakistan High Commissioner to Delhi, filling up for him. I'm sure that would be most appropriate. Agenda item 8, we have before us a report of the 33rd session of the Council of Ministers held in Thimphu in February this year, and the 34th session of the Council of Ministers held in Addu city on the 10th of this month. These reports are contained in documents number CM.33/14 and 15 respectively. I take that it is the wish of the meeting to approve the reports as they are presented before us, and I take it as decided. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, may I now move to agenda item 9, which is the presentation of outcome document of the first South Asia Forum. To this, may I invite the chairperson of the first South Asia Forum to hand over the document.